Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and pardon the way I'm doing this, but it is what it is. Oh my goodness, today is Tuesday, right? January the 9th. Have to think about it, but for the past, I don't know, I think it started, today is Tuesday, I think it started Sunday night. We had really, really bad wind. I mean, maybe late in the night, early in the morning. Seriously bad wind. I mean, I've seen worse. But it was 20 to 30 miles per hour and around 40 gusts, but I think it got much worse at some point. And, I mean, I was freaking out. He was saying, that wind sounds really awful. It sounds like things were hitting the house. And then we have a 2-story house. And he said that it was probably some tree hitting the gutter or something. I'm curious what it's going to be like when we go out there and check out everything. We'll probably have some neighbors' stuff in our yard. But it was pretty bad. I mean, I've been in hurricanes and, around tornadoes and stuff like that, so yeah. But anyway, that's supposedly over. It lasted until today, about probably, let's see, maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. And I think it was 3 o'clock today, 3 p.m. when it finally stopped. And because of it, our most of this part of Texas, north of Dallas, and I'm north of Dallas and some of the surrounding areas, that we had outages. I don't know if every company, if like, not lights. We had our lights. I don't know if our electricity, but the internet, Wi-Fi, cable. What else they have? Phone services. We had our cell phones, and I have that because I do the driving and stuff, that anywhere I go I have it, but I don't know how that works. I mean, really, I don't know how it works. Why am I getting it if it's out in this whole huge area? Not just here, this suburb, but several of them. I don't get that. But we're waiting for another hour and a half, and we'll finally have it. It's 6 right now. It's probably going to be 7:30, they said. Finally, they have a time. They couldn't go, the people to go out and fix it couldn't because of the strong winds, and they couldn't go out until it was safe enough to do so. And it was a recording that basically, that's my paraphrasing it, but yeah. Anyway, so that lately, I want to talk about lately. This year, last year I tried to make some New Year's resolutions, and I know that I don't have control over everything that happens to me in my life, or happens at all to me and everybody else, like something like that. But like last year was really, 2023 was so awful for me. So many problems, especially with health. And that's one thing I really want to get under control this year, and I'm hoping that not every time I turn around I have to call this person or call that person associated with that department or this department associated with my health. That was ridiculous, and I had to in order to get my this or that or this or done. So I hope that it's all straightened out. But it didn't start off that way. One of them actually called me, and I'm like, oh, because they messed up. Oh my goodness! It's like, come on, people, get your stuff together. People, we start needing people who are in professions to be professional, seriously, and have staff that's going to be as professional as they can. Okay, don't have staff that is going to be a bunch of adult mean girls and mean boys. Okay, adult mean, no. Okay, yeah, they need to know what they're doing. Oh my gosh! But like I said, they're calling me so, because they messed up. Anyway, and the reason they messed up is because the others messed up. The other side of it all. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But anyway, my New Year's resolution was going to be, I had more than one. The way I wanted to start living my life, and Of course, I know I can't stop those bad things happening, or the smell on the, smell on the foods. Oh yes, oh my gosh. And all those other things I complained about last year, and the weirdness going on and all that. But this year was taught me, even though I told myself, I don't have total control, boy, and already this year, here it is, the 9th, and it's already shown me you really have no control. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe. I'm going to have to leave one of them out because it might get bad. I mean, as far as, yeah, and then nothing illegal. But it could get, it could escalate to where that, I might have to take legal action. So, put it that way. And, it's just something else. Okay, I thought about taking that out of there, but no, I'm going to keep it in. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to keep it in. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy stuff. Anyway, so then it became this, but a couple of days ago, it was, the first time was, I'm thinking, let's see, not Saturday, but, maybe, it was Friday. I felt a little dizzy. Yeah, a couple times Friday evening or night. I just felt a little dizzy. And I was like, maybe I got up too quickly, or, something happened that made me kind of a little dizzy. And I had been working during the day, and then Saturday I worked in the day, and I thought I had that situation some people do when you get tip baited. I really did, but no, the guy came through at the end and gave me a tip. He was one that said he would tip at the door, and when I got to the door, I didn't ask him. I didn't even care. I took it before I even know it was going to be tip at door. So I took it for really low. But it was on my way home, and I was going home, and anyway, it was low. But he tipped it, and it was normal, so the amount. But got home, and I was so wanting my salad. I have salads, usually two a day. And I was really wanting a salad. Really hungry. I hadn't really eaten much all day, and my glucose was already too high, and all this stuff. That's a whole scene. And I finally figured it out myself, as usual. And so I wanted this salad, but I needed to take a shower first. I wanted to be comfortable and all this stuff, get showered, get all the trail dust off of me. And got out of the shower, and Adam was sitting in the living room where I had to pass through. And this happened to me back in 2020. You know what I'm saying? And I take a shower, I get out, and my body would feel like it's on, the real hot, like a hot flash. But no, real bad hot flash, and that happened. And right where I got to where he was. I was telling him, I said, there it goes again, just like when I had, back in 2020, February 2020. And I'm leaving out that word on purpose, so. And I walked, the kitchen is right past there. I mean, I'm not talking like 10 feet to the island to make my salad. And the world started spinning around me. And I felt real faint, and I walked into the room next to it, which is an office, and sat down. And then I tried to go back to go get the stuff out to make my salad as soon as it stopped spinning. Nope, started spinning again. And back and forth. Finally got that friggin' salad made, and I don't know how many times it took me to go and sit down. And came into this room where I am now, and it's got a new bed in it, and the TV and all that kind of stuff. And a lawn chair, a recliner, and things like that, bookshelves and all. And I lay down, eating my salad, and then I couldn't eat it. I'm on the bed, elevating my feet. I have to elevate my feet because I have this edema, and I couldn't eat that salad after all that. How long it took me to make it, and I couldn't eat it. I don't know what was wrong with me. I just could not feel like I'm going to be able to eat it. So then I just brought it back into the kitchen, just set it on the table, and I was telling Adam, and at some point my jaw started hurting. Really, my jaw. The whole jaw, like the whole jawbone on the bottom part, all around it. I'm like, what the heck is this? And of course it was Saturday after 5, when there's not going to be anything open, like any doctor's office or urgent care or anything. As far as I know, around here, they're not open. And I just like, I guess I could have gone to the hospital, but yeah, I wasn't feeling that normal, and the world was spinning around me. I'm not likely to drive myself there, not that likely to get, anyway. So, I just didn't know. I didn't know why I was dizzy. I just didn't know. And so, I just thought maybe it was I took a too hot of a shower or something, because I don't feel pain like most people do. I have a rare health condition, and pain, which I would think would include heat. I don't feel it like most people. So it could have been I had it on too hot, the hot water. Today I took it in tepid, I think you call it tepid water. Yeah, and I had a very, very vague feeling of that. Like this. Well, anyway, and I tried not to take, so today's Tuesday. So when else did I take it? Anyway, yeah, I tried, actually, I waited, because I wanted to wait, and I don't do that, but I was told by what is it called? What was he? He was a PA for, what is the skin people? I can't remember. Anyway, to hold off, anyway. There's from something before. So I waited, and I could have taken one last night. I waited 48 hours before I do it, because I was, but we were having this wind, and I was worried, and okay, my brain wasn't thinking normal. I kept thinking maybe I have it again. You see what I'm saying? But it didn't have the same symptoms. Instead, what it had was that after that, with the gums, the jaw, I took out my not retainer, but a partial. I have a partial. I've mentioned that before on the bottom where it was hurting around my jaw. I took that out, and I just kept feeling feeling worse, and like something hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't know what it was, but it hit me so hard. And I was going around telling Adam, I think I'm going to die. I'm like opposite of histrionic. And I just don't usually say anything. I just, I used to joke and say I have a sick room, And when I'm sick, I don't want to be around anybody. And I just want to be left alone. And anyway, I just kept saying, I can't handle this. This is too much. And so I took a Tylenol, and I'm not any kind of healthcare provider, so I just, Adam said, take a Tylenol, maybe for pain. And it was not really a pain, maybe more of an ache. And it was bad. And I kept trying to figure out what in the world could this be that would hit me so hard. And I even told him things like, it feels like something like, virus or bacteria or whatever. It's just like something just invaded my body all of a sudden. It really hit me hard. It made me feel like that was it. It was game over. So yeah, it was bad. Okay, so then I talked to Adam like he was some store owner or some restaurant owner. This was kind of funny part. I said, do you by any chance have any chicken noodle? Now, I'm the homemaker, and I was fairly certain. But Adam likes to eat canned food. I don't, because of the sodium. And usually carbs and sodium. I don't eat from cans, and I don't try not to eat any at all. But maybe that's not a good thing. My voice is cutting out again. What is this about when I try to make a video? Now I'm going to stop saying that I have to be in my car, but when I try to make a video, because I'm not in my car, my SUV. I'm not in my SUV. And I talk to people, and my voice doesn't go out. Weird. Anyway, so I was telling him, I said, do you have any, listen, do you hear it? I said, do you have any, it was funny, chicken noodle soup, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I grew up on this anytime I was not feeling well, anything that could be like a virus, cold flu, something like that. And, I mean, it really hit me hard. And Adams, I went in there to find out, I could barely stand up, because if I stood up, I got dizzy. And I went in the kitchen, which was right next to that room, and all we had was ramen noodles, and some had expired. We don't eat this stuff. He likes to put it in, boil some chicken, boil it, and then he uses that as, instead of, like chicken broth or anything like that, he makes soup from ramen noodle, those little ramen noodle packages, have a spice. He likes to do that. He used to. He hasn't done it in a while. So, anyway, I did look up something about this, like my voice going out, and I look up online, what do I trust, stuff that I read online, pretty much no, but it did say older people. I'm officially older people as it is. 60 years old, I don't know if I'd call that older people. But then again, some places call 50 older people. Anyway, so I asked him if he had it, and I don't see, I mean it when I say, because of my rare health condition, I basically have to eat half as much calories as women who don't have this kind of condition or some kind of condition that limits them. People who are just average. I have to eat half as much as women, who don't have any health condition restricting it. And I can't eat much sodium. I have to avoid sodium. Carbs especially. Oh my goodness, my glucose level had been unbelievably high. And I had to wait until I got my insurance they wouldn't even let me schedule an appointment for endocrinologists. I do finally have an appointment for endocrinologists to see one. And I had made it with that one last year, but then I got rid of that insurance, because all that mess. God, last year was so horrible. And hopefully this kind of stuff stops. I'm tired of it. But oh my gosh, I talk about things like narcissism and cluster B, mainly histrionic people with histrionic behavior and such. And well, I'm just gonna leave it there. Let it hang there. Yeah, but I'm tired of dealing with rough people. And anyway. So anyway, I got Adam, and he made some, and he brought me a bowl of this ramen noodle and the juice to it and all. And I knew it was something that wasn't going to be good for, as far as the sodium count and he had some noodles on it, not much. And as I figured, he took more than half himself. I knew he would. But that was fine. I just needed that juice, is really. And yeah, I need to restock our home. I'm getting behind on what I do, but, it's a homemaker. And so I sat there and I ate that, and I kept thinking, what if I pass out in my bowl? It was hitting me. It had hit me like a ton of bricks, like I said. And so I sat there and I ate it, and I walked back in there, and I walked back in the kitchen, and he was in the living room, which they're all open to each other, and I said, I really like that. Can you make some more? I couldn't stand up. I was too dizzy to stay standing up. I was afraid I was going to bump my head, fall down, whatever. So I went back and sat down at the desk, and he made some, brought back to me, and he took more than half. And so I ate it, and I went and lay down on the bed. The next thing I know, I don't know how many hours, I think it was maybe an hour later or something, I woke up. I don't remember falling asleep. And I woke up, walked in there, no dizziness, no anything, nothing. I was just fine as could be, you know. I'm like, and that's like the night before. Then I had dizziness, woke up, nothing. I went to work. It was a lousy day. I only did one, but one delivery. Like I said, I thought it was going to be one of those that people call, tip baiting. And but he came through, like I said. And but it was an awful day. It was a Saturday. It was just awful. And so anyway, so I really did get worried. So I don't know if it's that. Then after that or the next morning, I looked it up and it says vertigo. Vertigo? I always thought that was such an old-fashioned word. Really, it's kind of like pleurisy. I don't know if those things people really do. Doctors even diagnose those. I haven't had health insurance, and diagnoses have been like very rare, if at all, for many years. Okay. Anyway, they just prescription renewed. Anyway, so I looked it up and I said vertigo, but what about that awful feeling of this was game over for me? I mean, it was an awful feeling. And I really didn't know I was going to make it. And I can't even describe what was going on with me. Except, like I told Adam, it's like some kind of bug, and like virus or bacteria. Well, that's not really a bug, but virus, bacteria, something hit me, just invaded my whole body, took over, and decided that was it. And I've been having weird nightmares like that. Seriously, not like that, but one of them was a weird nightmare, like a few days before, that said it's time to give up this body and move on to another body. And I don't believe in that stuff. Okay, I don't believe in reincarnation or anything like that. And so anyway, so then that was over. But then, of course, there's got to be more dramas that I'm sitting there going, really? Really? Does this kind of stuff just has to happen? And when I'm not even at my best, and I felt a little bit, like I said, I had to wait. And I'm not a person who likes to wait more than 24 to, the maximum would be 48 hours, and I don't even go that long without taking a shower, but, unless I have to, don't feel good or something like that, and I'm afraid of, because I did have the dizziness while I was in the shower that day. And, so, like I said, I took it this morning, Tuesday morning. That happened Saturday night-ish, after 5. So, that was a long time for me, really long time for me. But I did, and I didn't feel dizzy in the shower, not really. But I did when I got out, like I said, I did in water that I couldn't feel any heat and I didn't feel any cold, but a little bit, I felt a little bit of that warmth, and got out, and I felt it when I was walking in there a little bit, and then after that I felt a little bit of the dizziness. So, okay, and a little bit of the dizziness and a little bit of just a tiny bit with the gums, the jaw. But like I said, I looked them up and it said that's something with vertigo. Now, I don't diagnose myself. I'm not a doctor, but because of the weather, the wind, there was no way in the world I was going to get out in that world, in that wind. I mean, seriously, that happened Saturday night. Nothing would have been open. Sunday, except if I wanted to go to the ER, and my brain resists that so much, you wouldn't believe. I don't want to be in a hospital. I mean, no. After my experiences 3 times in the ER, not even a year ago, it was last year, May and June, and the way they treated me, I'm just not wanting to. And plus, I found out I would be one of those, if this game over for me, I want to be in my bed. I want to be in my home and in my bed. Because that's what I felt like. I really did. I can't say that enough. It was over for me. Game over. It's the best way I can think of to put it, online. But, whatever. Tomorrow is going to be a really nice, beautiful day. 60, in the high in the 60, but Tomorrow's Wednesday. Sunday night is going to be, I think it's Sunday night it gets down to, one of them was, it keeps changing, but I think 14 or something. One of them, I think it's the next one, the high is Monday. I think the high is 29 and the low that night is going to be 9. This is Texas. And the next day it's going to be a little bit warmer, and then we get back to our norm. For maybe, allegedly. Yeah, no, we're going to have snow and sleet. First sleet, I think Sunday, and that's changed too, over and over. It's changed so much. But, and then, I think Monday we're going to have snow. So I told Adam it's got me kind of triggered because of 2021 when we had those historic Texas historic winter storms. It was so bad. Oh man, it was bad. It was really bad. And I downplayed it at first so much, as usual. I usually downplay stuff. And, I'm trying to get out of that. But anyway, the whole thing with the last year, this year, and then there's one other, like I said, I'm not going to go into detail with it. It's just insanity, and it's not my doing. And I had to really go over it. And one of the things I wanted to stop doing was whenever a problem came up, to just let it go. How many of you watched Reba when Van said, it's one word, let it go? I always like that. And by the way, I used to say, and I am Barbara Jean. Yeah, look at Barbara Jean on Reba, and she's what's the name that she uses on Young Sheldon? I finally watched that show in December, Young Sheldon, and I just sat there. I did marathon. It took me a while, but because I never stay on just watching TV for too long. But what is she? Barbara on? She's Barbara, isn't she? On the name Barbara Jean on Reba, and then Barbara on Brenda. Yeah, Brenda on Young Sheldon. But I am Barbara Jean and Brenda. That would look just like me. Seriously. In a way. Yeah. We could be sisters. Anyway. Well, why was I saying that anyway? But, I'm really hoping, all this stuff, there was just so much stuff that's happened. And I was really hoping, that this year was going to be more about just let it go. That's why I was talking about it. And I wanted to talk about, when people ruminate. It's rumination. I always thought it had another syllable in it. But, anyway. And I want to talk about, don't want to do that, but for me, I have to. This year so far. This was going to be one of my main, in fact, New Year's resolutions, to stop, just to let it go. But no, in order for me to feel good, I have to go through it and finally settle it into my mind. Because I know, really, you don't get closure from, Anyway, but I wanted to settle it, I wanted to think it through. And the things, and I didn't have enough time last year because one thing would happen, another one right then. Right afterwards, over and over and over again. One thing after another. And I want to think it through and be happy whenever I feel like it. When I feel it's over, plus whatever I can make videos on. Pretty much none of it I can't go into great detail ever. And I thought about, it's time I start getting back to my stories, my series. Oh, yeah. And overall, it's going to be about introspection, and this year I've done that because my degrees are in psychology and sociology, and we do quite a bit of that. We did, I don't know, what other people do in other universities, but all of this stuff. And I don't know, this year is telling me, you're going to do what we say you're going to do. Who is this we say? Right. And, but seriously, I'm glad to be alive after what I've been through since last year. And I have health insurance now. And when it got to midnight, I told Adam, well, he did the New York midnight. He said, now you have insurance. I said, no, it doesn't work that way, dude. And so at midnight, I said, woohoo! I'm legit. I got legit. I have health insurance again. And I mean, I only had it like, 2 months last year? And a few days, and all that mess that I just wasn't going to be able to do it because of the heat and all this stuff. And I have to prove to the government that this 60-year-old homemaker with chronic health conditions and edema can make I don't know if edema is a chronic health condition or not, but my rare health condition causes 3 chronic health conditions, which, like this one, if that's what it is, it just seems like right now it seems more like it was just, I went through a really bad time with sodium. And I know now which kind of sodium I have to avoid. I had to figure all this stuff out myself. So, the latest doctor I had gotten said, we'll just wait until after the New Year's and then we'll do all this stuff. The other 2 before that, they just wanted to do what they wanted to do. And before that, you see, not my scope and practice, and before that, oh my God. Like I said, I really want to see this year, I want to see professionals act professional. Seriously. And it's not about you, it's about me. When it's about me, like my health. It's not about them, how much money can be deposited into their bank account from my insurance card and from my bank. Yeah. So, what else? But anyway, pretty soon, not too long, if you hear my TV go off, we'll finally have that. It was a long day. You know, Adam and I had that luxury. Let me do this real fast. Okay, Adam and I wouldn't say luxury, but the privilege of having life before. You're being aware, life and awareness of before the internet. I was one of the pioneer women in internet. Linking my computer through the telnet to other people's computers and all that stuff when I was in my late 20s. But before that, no, you know, we didn't have cell phones. My dad had one because he was on kidney dialysis. And where I grew up, in order to have a cell phone back then, you had to have something like that. Like, be some kind of police officer or, person that needed it, and he drove himself back and forth to the hospital to have his kidney dialysis. He was known as the man that had been on kidney dialysis for the longest. That is surviving it. And, being on that long. Things have changed quite a bit since then. But he had to drive over bridges and stuff, and they said that he needed a cell phone in case something happened. But I lived in a time before, people had cell phones. He had that big old clunker that was big as a console or something in his truck. He had, by the way, one of those little red trucks. Not little, they're not little. And I remember he let me stick shift, do the shifts. And when I was a little girl, and I actually grew up with the little red trucks. Seriously, I grew up where people actually sat on the front porch, and the possum would walk up, and on one side, and this was when I was a younger adult, and a raccoon from the other side, and they'd sit there and eat the cat food together. I'm not kidding. Oh man, I had the country life luxury. Privilege. And it is a privilege to have lived life where people actually bonded with one another. And some, it led to them never wanting to speak to these people again. And, it was real. Life was real. People actually knew what one another looked like because their faces weren't in their cell phones. And I'm talking everybody these days. I'm not talking just a certain generation, But we didn't grow up with a cell phone. One of my nieces, my grandnieces, Adam's, he remarks about how she just sits there and zip, zoom, zip through her cell phone and zip, 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 and she's 2 years old. I'm like, really? He does the, what's it called? They have a different one. That they do it's kind of like Skype or whatever it is these days, FaceTime. But it's not that, it's a different one. It's a different kind. And she loves to see the puppy. At least she loves to see the puppy. The puppy's not a puppy. He's an American Pit Bull Terrier. He's a teenager, maybe an adult by now. But she loves to see him. Anyway, I just had to add some real life to this. It's all real life. But I'm just hoping I can survive it. But I'm actually feeling much better. Really, just yeah. With this latest thing, and then just allowing myself to just go through it and figuring it out. I do literally have a genius IQ, and I took the time to figure this one out. Not think about anything else, just think about this, and it's like, I did figure it out. Yeah, all the pieces of the puzzle, and that was from yesterday. Basically from yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. No, I'm wrong. It was Sunday, from Sunday, when this happened. Gave myself the time. I figured out by last night. So many things happening. And I'm kind of tired, but I expect myself to be. Plus, my experience in life, and I've been, like I said, since 1990, and a little before, I had my first computer with 1982. No, 1982-ish, somewhere there. And my experience is once I walk away from them and don't turn one on, I sleep a lot. And I have a lot of thoughts on that, but it agrees, Anyway, and I say that for a reference. But anyway, I think that's enough. I'll talk to you on another video.